you are from Group 5. Today we will introduce the cover test to you. The purpose of the cover test is to assess presence and magnitude of Fourier or tropium. Tropium means matter Joule. Let's take a look how the cover test is conducted. Follow me. For the cover test, the equipment required are
VA chart, fixation stick, occluder.
Okay, I will talk about the setup first. Firstly, the patient have to wear his habitual RS throughout the test. Secondly, as an examiner, we will have to set up distant and near target. Distant target is at 6 meter, while near target is at 40 centimeter. To set up distant target, for example, if the patient has 66 VA, then we will use a target which is a letter from line 69. To set up the near target, we will use fixation stick as target at 40 centimeter. For the position, the patient is seated with head erect. The examiner is seated beside and facing the patient. The patient and the examiner must at the same eye level. For the condition, full room illumination is required and make sure that there is no shadow on the patient face. Actually, cover test consists of two tests. The first one is cover-uncover test. The second one is alternating cover test. For the cover-uncover test, the examiner will cover right eye first for 2 to 3 seconds and observe the left eye. Repeat this procedure, and then the examiner will occlude the left eye for 2 to 3 seconds and observe the right eye. Repeat this procedure. For the alternating cover test, the examiner will cover the right eye first, and then for 2 to 3 seconds, and then switch the occluder to the patient's left eye and observe the right eye at the moment it is not occluded. Then examiner will switch the occluder to the patient's right eye and observe the patient's left eye at the moment it is not occluded, and repeat this procedure.
Before we do the cover test, we need to measure the distant and near visual acuity of the patient. For example, this patient has visual acuity 66, then we will ask the patient to focus to a letter at line 69. Now we will do a test to detect if you have squint eye or not. Please focus the letter O at the third line from bottom. If I block you, please tell me. Please keep focus to the letter O. I will do the cover-uncover test first. I will occlude your right eye first. Then I will occlude your left eye. If there is no deviation of eye in the cover-uncover test, we will proceed with the alternating cover test. I will do the alternating cover test. Now we will do the cover test at near distance, and I will use the fixation stick, and I will ask the patient to focus to the letter H. Please focus to the letter H on the fixation stick. I will do the cover test first. shall we do the alternative cover test?
So now I will talk about the recording. It is important for us to know how to record our observation because if we were to refer the patient to another ophthalmologist or optometry, it will be easier for them to treat the patient. So in recording, we have a few symbols that have to keep in mind. First one is CT, which stands for cover test, CC, which stands for with correction, SC, which stands for without correction, X, which stands for EXO, E, which stands for ASO, T stands for tropia, P stands for phoria. If both eyes of the patient fixate straight all the time, then we consider the patients as normal. We will record as CT, which stands for cover test, CC with correction, orthophoria at 6 meter, CT, CC, orthophoria at 40 centimeter, or CT, CC with this symbol which stands for orthophoria at distance and near. This is another example. CT, CC, RXT which stands for right exotropia at near. CT, CC, RET which stands for right esotropia at distance and near.
Okay, now we will like to talk about the expected finding and interpretation.
I need a cha-cha beat, boy.
Now I will show you the right occluder that we use for assessing the cover test. There are three types of occluder that we can use here. The first one, the second one, and the third one. And all these occluder have similarity whereby this is dark and is opaque. So and there is no hole so that we can use to occlude the patient eyes. And this one is the occluder that is not recommended to use for the cover test because it will be a problem. As you can see, when I occlude the patient eye, when assessing the alternative cover test, I will swipe it, and then it will go to the patient nose, and this will make the patient feel uncomfortable. There are few mistakes that the examiner did when they are assessing the cover test. For example, the eye level is not same and aligned with the patient eye like this. The next mistake that the examiner did when they assessing cover test is when the same eye level but the examiner block the view of the patient like this. The last mistake that the examiner did is when they're doing the cover test in a very low illumination room, and like this. When we are doing in the dark condition, it's hard for the examiner to determine the movement of the eye, so it will affect the result.